Hello everyone and welcome back to Cloud BI Academy. So today we are starting one of the most important module in our SQL interview preparation series. And trust me, many candidates fail SQL interview not because they cannot write queries, but because they are unable to explain concept clearly, describe query execution flow, discuss performance impact, explain optimization techniques, or connect SQL concept with real-time business scenarios. So in real interviews, the interviewer is not only checking whether you know SQL syntax, they want to evaluate your conceptual clarity, your understanding of query execution, your optimization knowledge, your real-world project experience, and your ability to solve business problem using SQL. So today's session is not going to be a basic SQL tutorial. This will be a complete end-to-end professional interview preparation session. In this module, we will cover select, where, group by, having, order by, distinct, and case one. In addition, we will discuss SQL execution flow, performance consideration, and optimization strategies, real-time examples, and interview expectations. Every topic will explain in detail with practical examples and interview oriented discussion. So make sure you watch this video until the end because this module will build the foundation for advanced SQL concept. So let's get started. So let's begin with select statement. The select statement is one of the most fundamental and frequently used command in SQL. Its primary purpose is to retrieve data from database tables. For example, select name comma salary from employees table. So this query retrieve name and salary from employee table. If we go through some real-time scenario, suppose you are working in a HR project and the HR manager request I need the salary detail of all employees. So in this case, we use the select statement. So for that one, we just select employee ID and employee name and department, salary, and employees. Okay. Now let's discuss an important interview question. The interview may ask, how does SQL query execution happen internally? So this extremely important concept. SQL queries are not executed from top to bottom exactly as written. Internally, SQL flows follows a different execution order. So this is a very common interview question. So if I go through with actual SQL execution flow, so first thing coming as a from, okay, then where, what we have using the filter here, then group by, then having, then select, and if we are using any distinct command for removing the duplicate, okay, and then order by, and add in the end we using the top or bottom, top and limit, sorry. So now let's understand the internal execution flow. For example, now let's understand internal execution flow step by step. So first, from employee. So first we written some syntax to understand that one. So this is our query. Okay. So from employee is a first coming into our execution flow. Okay. Then we are using the where clause. So it is came as a second. Then we applying filtering. Okay. So based on the group by department. So it is a third one. And after filtering, then we are using having count. This is the fourth. And then next select statement, whatever is that. And last one is order by total employee disk. So if you can explain execution flow confidently during interviews, it creates a strong impression about your SQL fundamentals. Now we understand the where clause. So the where clause is used to filter records. Okay. For example, select star from employees where salary is greater than 50,000. Okay. So in this syntax, this query return only those employees whose salary is greater than 50,000. Okay. Suppose a company has million of employee record and then manager request I need only active employee from the IT department. So in that scenario, what we have do, so we have a table. We select star from employee. Okay. So scenario is something like I need only active employee from the IT department. Okay. So in where filter condition, first we put the department is equal to IT, and status should be active. So this is the real time use case. Now we discuss something related to the performance impact. So the where clause significantly improves performance. Why? Because filtering happens at an early stage. Okay. The earlier unnecessary records are eliminated, the faster the query performs. This become extremely important in production environment handling large data sets. So this is the one of the most frequently asked SQL interview question. They can ask something like where versus having, or they can in different way they can ask. So for that one, like you can say that where clause filtering individual rows. Okay. So if we talking about where versus having. Okay. So we understand this concept. So in where clause what happen, it is filters individually. individual row. Okay, this is the first difference. And if talking about group by, so in group by we filtered grouped data. Okay, so in where clause we filter individual row, and in group in having we are filter grouped data. So if you understand this example here, for example here we put the where salary is greater than 50,000. Okay, so we are getting for this one. And if you understand this having thing, so having basically what we are doing, based on the department name we have group by the data, so based on that we have put the filter condition. Okay, now next important thing, where clause executes before group by. Okay, and having in having executes after group by. Okay, in where next differences, we can say that cannot where clause cannot directly use aggregate function. In where clause we are not uh, directly use any aggregate function, and in having aggregate function allow. Okay, so this is the common difference we can explain to interviewers for help. Okay, so if we understand with this query also, so already we have discussed this filter in the where clause filters individual row while having filters grouped data. Then where execute before group by, this is coming before group by. Okay, and having executes after group by. And for the where we cannot directly use aggregate function. If we are using here something count stick, so we are not getting any results at that, uh, while in having aggregate functions allowed. So you can explain this difference, so this can help you to crack the interview. And now I tell you one more professional way to explain this one. So you can say that the where clause performs row level filtering before aggregation, whereas the having clause filters group data after aggregation. So this type of answer demonstrate strong conceptual clarity. Now let's move to group by. So group by is used to organize similar data into groups. It is commonly used with aggregate function such as count, sum, average, max, and min. Okay. So if we discuss some real-time business scenario, suppose management asks how many employees exist in each department. So this is common use case of group by. So how you can do that? So simple, we have select, okay, department wise we required from employees table, and group by based on the department. So based on that we get the result set. If data is there, so I can execute that one. So I get the employee count. For finance we have a 3 employee, for HR department we have a 2, for IT we have a 3, and marketing for 2. Okay. And if we can discuss performance way, so group by can be an expensive operation, especially on a large table where we have with millions of records, or when sorting operations are involved. So group by may require additional memory, sorting, temporary storage, and CPU processing. So understanding this performance impact is very important for interview. So for optimization, if group by is frequently used, so create proper indexes, avoid unnecessary columns, and apply filtering before group by whenever possible. So let's understand group by versus distinct. So distinct remove the duplicate value. Okay. For example, we have a select distinct department from employer. Okay, so we are getting the distinct department here. And group by perform grouping and aggregation. This is the simple difference. So in professional way, we can say that distinct is mainly used to retrieve unique value, while group by is used for summarization and aggregate calculation. Now let's understand having. So the having clause filters grouped result. Okay, let's understand here, like for select department, okay, comma average salary from employees, okay, group by department, having average salary greater than 60,000. So suppose HR asks, so only those departments whose average salary is greater than 60,000. So this is the perfect use case of having. So we have a, like a 4 department, so we getting that finance, IT, and marketing, where these are the department where average salary is greater than 60,000. Okay. Now understand with the performance consideration. So having can be expensive because grouping occur first, then filtering happen afterward, and therefore whenever possible use where for early filtering. So for optimizing we can say that like first we uh, put any filtered like where we can use the where clause or something. Okay, like for uh, if we want particularly any department why. Okay, so just put the where department is equal to IT or finance. Okay, so this is the better because filtering happened earlier. Now next thing is order by. So order by is used for sorting data. There is two types of sorting, ascending and descending. So for example, select star from, select star from employees, order by salary, AC. It is used for the ascending. Okay, in descending. So what is the key difference we are getting? So here we have getting salary in a salary wise. Like first we getting the minimum salary, then max salary, and here we getting from bottom to top. Okay, so suppose management asks so the top highest paid employees. So here we are getting the top highest paid employee based on the descending, like top 10 or something. If they have asked top 5 highest paid employees, so here we are getting these are the employee we they are getting highest salary. So order by performs sorting operation on a large data set. Memory consumption increases. Okay, temporary operations increases, and query performance may slow down. So use proper indexes and avoid unnecessary sorting operation. Dist- Next thing is the distinct. We have already tell you like distinct remove the duplicate record from the result set. Okay, and if talking about the real time example, so suppose the marketing team ask in which cities do you currently serve customer. Okay, so distinct help retrieve only unique city names. And if talking about the performance consideration, so distinct internally performs sorting, hashing, and duplicate elimination operation. So on very large data sets, this can become expensive. Now, most important thing, case when. Okay, so case when works similarly to if else logic in SQL. So for example, we have a table, select star from employees. Okay, this is the employee table. Now we understand the case when concept. So first we have a name column. Okay, then salary, and here we have understand the case condition. So requirement is suppose a company want to categorize employee into salary bands. Okay, so case when is commonly used for such business logic. So let's return some syntax here. When salary is greater than 50K, then high. When salary is greater than 30,000, then medium. Else low salary. Okay, and we can close this and as a salary category. So here we have getting the salary category for every employee. So in interview questions, case when optimization, so complex case condition can increase CPU usage. Okay, increase query execution time and reduce performance. Or if you want to optimize this, so avoid unnecessary case condition, use lookup tables whenever possible, use indexed computed column in advanced scenario. Okay, so real time enterprise example, we can say that in e-commerce website where we required order status. Okay, so if delivery date is not null, it means delivered, and it ship date is not null, so it means it's shipped. So something like that we can use in a different scenarios. Now interview expectation evaluate here. So the interviewer is not checking only whether you remember syntax. They want to evaluate conceptual clarity, execution flow understanding, performance tuning knowledge, and optimization capability and real world problem solving skill. So whenever answering SQL interview questions, try to include these 5 points. First is definition, next is syntax, then real time use case, performance impact, optimization strategy. So this structure makes your answers sound professional and technically strong. So now I can ask some question. It is very helpful for you. So for mock interview preparation, you can go through with first important question. Explain the difference between where and having. Then why can group buy become expensive? Next one is how does distinct work internally? Okay, and explain SQL query execution order, and one more important question: how would you optimize case when condition? So in today's session, we covered select, where, group by, having, order by, distinct, case when, along with execution flow, performance impact, and optimization techniques. So real-time business scenarios and interview preparation strategy. So if you truly want to crack SQL interviews, your fundamental must be extremely strong. Advanced SQL concept become much easier once your basic are crystal clear. In the next module, we will cover inner join, left join, right join, full join, self join, cross join, and real time scenario and performance tuning techniques. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and press the notification bell. If you found this session valuable, comment below. SQL fundamentals clear. Thank you everyone. See you in next session.